Hello and welcome to the new Unfranchised Business Account. My name is Jeremy Fenema. I'm the Director of Internet Services and Training for Market America, and what I want to do is I want to take you on a tour of what's going to be released for your new Unfranchised Business Account Management area. Now, this isn't coming out until next year, but what we wanted to do is we wanted to show you some of the progress that we've made in the last couple of months to show you how your new unfranchised business account will work and show you some of the areas that we've been able to complete to give you an update on what's going on. So this is the login page. You've seen it before if you've seen any of the presentations that we've done at the previous events. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and log in with a rep ID and a password. We go ahead and hit login, and it tells us our login was successful. Please be patient while we redirect you. And now we're at our dashboard. Now this is an exciting new feature that we have here, and you'll notice down at the bottom that these widgets are loading up information that's important about my unfranchised business. And I'm the one who controls what's being displayed in the latter part of the page. So we have some system widgets that are here like alerts, new products, and World Conference, and news and announcements. Those are all fixed by the system. But then we have some user editable widgets, and I'm going to show you how we do that right now. So we can go into this link up here at the top that says Edit Dashboard, and when we click on it, all of this information is modifiable. So we can remove items. Right? And you notice as I remove things, they show up down here in my toolbar. Or I can add new items back in. So I add new customers and a Purge BV warning report and maybe a quick order entry and maybe some open orders. And everyone's going to come with the widget tutorial preloaded in their dashboard. So, and I can move these around as well. So when you come in, the widget dashboard, the thing that teaches you how to edit the dashboard, that'll be preloaded there, and you'll see it. But once you get a feel for it, you can go ahead and remove that, and then you can see what you have here. So maybe the most important thing I want to see first is the Purge BV warning, so I put that here. And then maybe the next thing I want to see right away is open orders. And then I have new customers, and then I can do quick order entry. Or maybe I do open orders first, and then do quick order entry next, and then, open orders first, quick order entry next, and then Purge BV warning and new customers. Whenever I'm happy with what I have, I just click anywhere else on the screen, and that saves my changes. Now remember, this is all happening with a website. This is not a piece of software that you've installed. This is all just happening through a web browser with the amazing capabilities that you can have with technology today on the internet. So very, very cool stuff. So you can see I have 196 open orders, and I can scroll through and see all of these open orders. And if I click on the order number, it'll actually take me over to that order so I can see the details. Or I can add a product into a cart and add a quantity and hit add to cart. Ooh, I might need 11 of them, but probably not. Just click add to cart, and that'll add it into my cart. So there's a lot of really exciting things that I can do here, including seeing things that are happening with Purge warning as well as my customers. And you'll notice that the Purge warning report, this little widget, has been condensed down for me to basically see about 6 weeks of data for both BV and IBV. Now again, remember, this is not meant to be a detailed report. This is meant to be able to help you identify things that need to happen with your business right away. So if I see some numbers on my Purge warning report for BV, I know that something probably needs to happen right away. I can click on View Full Report and be able to pull up the full report rather than looking at the smaller report. Now, in addition to the dashboard, we've completely reorganized all of the menuing system that we have. Ordering, my distributorship, my customers, my organization, downloads, help and training. All of this is designed to help you help your new people be able to get into Unfranchise and start working on their Unfranchise business right away instead of having a big learning curve. Now, you know, on what we call classic Unfranchise, the Unfranchise business account that you use right now, it's hard to find some things, right? So if I am a new person and I want to try and find my web portal admin so that I can go and change some information, some personal information on my shop.com site, it's not readily apparent where that's going to be. I'm not necessarily thinking, oh, other services, web portal admin, this, that, the next thing. That's not necessarily intuitive. But here, if I know what that piece does, I know where to find it. So if I'm thinking about ordering products, well, it's naturally going to be under the tab called ordering. So this is where we put order products, order tracking, transfer buying, custom cocktail, gene snip, printed and promotional items. All of that information is stuff that I'm going to order, and here it is under ordering. So if I'm going to order a custom cocktail, it is under the ordering menu, and then I can pick Isotonics custom cocktail, or if I'm a Nutrimetrics consultant, I could pick Nutrimetrics Isotonics custom cocktail. Right, I have some options there. If it's something that deals specifically with my distributorship, then it's going to be under the logically named menu item, my distributorship. So things like my distributor profile, my credit on account, my power profile, the personal profile survey, all of this information is specific about my distributorship. I'm going to find it here. My web portal admin. So it's a service that I have, and there's my web portal admin. Again, it makes it a lot more intuitive where you're going to find things. If I'm looking to do my Form 1000, well, my Form 1000 deals with my distributorship, and it's an online form. So where do you think I'm going to find it? Under my distributorship, online forms, Form 1000. Again, it makes good sense. The majors that I specialize in, I'm going to find all the information about them here. So Nutrimetrics, Motives, Web Centers, TLS, MA Capital Resources, things like BV and IBV placement. If I want to set my IBV auto placement locations or my BV auto placement locations, I can set those here under BV IBV placement. And then my international expansion. Again, it has to do with me and my business, my distributorship, as well as my mini websites. These are all things that are here under my distributorship. What about my customers? Well, if I want to look for something related to my customers, like a profile or their status, right, I'm going to find it under my customers. If I want to create a new customer, where am I going to do that? I'm going to do it under my customers. Same thing for looking at Nutriphysicals that my customers have done, or easy registration, or e-flyers, or skincare analysis. All of that information is going to be under my customers. What about things related to my organization? Where do I find sales volume reports? Well, who generates the sales volume that's in a sales volume report? Me and my organization. So where am I going to find that? I'm going to find it under my organization. So that's where I'm going to find all the management reports, the weekly accountability or preferred customer reports. All of that information is going to be here under my organization, for instance. And then we have the download section. Again, we've simplified this down. So audio downloads, support materials. If I click on download support materials and I select administration as a category, here I see all of the forms in the admin section of the downloads area. And you'll notice that there's a breadcrumb, what we call breadcrumbs, up here at the top. So I can see I'm in the support materials area, and that was under home, under downloads, under support materials. So if I need to know what I clicked on to get there, I can see I had hovered over downloads and then I clicked on support materials, right? And I can get back to any kind of area by simply clicking on the breadcrumb, as well as going back to the menuing system, right? So there's a lot of flexibility, a lot of intuitive interaction that happens within this site. And then lastly, here we have help and training. So I can get to the Market America events site. I can get corporate contact us information. I can get to the learning management system, where I can take my Basic 5, NDT, and ECCT online here. Now, another thing I'll show you is you'll notice that some of these things are showing up in white, like Market America events or corporate info, and some of these are showing up in gray. What this means is this is an area that we haven't completed yet. So if I click on it, it says you've entered an area of the site that's still under construction. Now, what I'm showing you here is a beta version of the Unfranchised Business Account. Actually, it's an alpha version of the Unfranchised Business Account. So when I hit these construction pages, these are things that the programmers have put in place to let me know, okay, this is as far as you can get. We haven't developed this area of the site out. So you can see there's a lot of things that we've developed. My distributorship, my customer, the downloads, help and training. There's a lot of areas that are done, but then there's some pretty substantial areas that aren't completed yet, like ordering products or reports, management reports. I'd say those are areas that we as unfranchised owners really want to have. So the reason why the site isn't ready yet is because there's a lot of work still to do. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to show you some of the areas that were completed so you could see some exciting things that we've done. So the dashboard, I think, is one of the most exciting areas, but we can go into things like distributor profile, and you can see some of the new look and feel to the site. We could go into things like the web portal admin here, and I can click on one of the test portals, and I can see what this information looks like. Again, most of what's being laid out here in the web portal admin is the same kind of content that you find on Classic Unfranchised. So I can log into my iTransact control panel. I have the ability to display and upload a photo of myself, for instance, set things like this, or turn on the free shipping program. All of these are areas that you already have in the web portal admin section, but this is what it's going to look like in the new Unfranchise business account system. Same thing for Form 1000, right? We all go in and we do our Form 1000 once a quarter. Now, here's something that's really, really cool. If you're like me, you have quite a few customer orders that are listed here. And sometimes, well, you just have to check 1 or 2 or 3 and it's fine. But if you really want to check all your orders, that can get a little cumbersome. Well, we've added a new feature, the check all, uncheck all, which is really handy. So I can check all of the orders that are listed there and go ahead and assign it to a business development center, or I can uncheck all and just cherry pick which ones I want to select. But this is one of the things I was really excited about because it takes me a while to tab through all of mine to select them, and I thought it was great that we added a check all, uncheck all here to go ahead and be able to check a lot of orders if you have a lot of orders in your Form 1000. A couple of other things, we've combined the 925 and 1001 form into a single form. Now, for people that have already filled out their 925 1001, which is most of us, since we're already unfranchised owners. But if you have a new person who's just getting started, they're going to be able to use this combined form that simplifies the process down. They just check I agree, and then they go ahead and submit the form. And that submits both their 925 and their 1001 form, which is really handy. In addition, we have the majors accounted for, things like the Nutrimetrics stuff, the Motive stuff, the Web Center stuff, the TLS items, MA Capital Resources, all that's there. And then we have areas like BV auto placement. If I want to change my BV auto placement location, I can do that here. If I want to change my IBV auto placement location, I can do that here. And you'll notice that I have 2 placements. So let's go back to BV auto placement. I have placement 1 here on the left and placement 2 here on the right. So I can change this to, say, my 004, and I could change this to my 002. And you'll notice when you do it correctly, you get a little green checkbox that says, yep, that's a valid placement. So if we use an ID that doesn't exist, like one that's not in there, you'll notice that you get a red checkbox letting you know that that's an invalid placement, for instance. So if I go back to setting it to the right one and setting it to the right extension, now it validates that it's correct. And now I can go ahead and submit my BV placement, and it'll establish my BV placement correctly. What about mini websites? Well, I can go to my distributorship, I can click on mini websites, and I can see a list of all the mini websites that I have in my system, right? And it gives me the ability to work with those mini websites. So I can click here. I have, again, all the abilities that we have in Classic Unfranchised to modify and adjust your mini website subscriptions here in the new Unfranchised system, right? I also have the ability to renew it, which will become less necessary after this convention when we get mini websites for free. but that ability would still be there. So what about my preferred customers? Well, I can go here and I can click on my customers and then go to customer profiles. Now, if I'm a nonprofit, if I manage some nonprofit organizations, I'll be able to select the nonprofit from this drop-down list. But this here will show me all my preferred customers. So if I want to go to this particular preferred customer, I can click on them. I can select them from the drop-down list, and then I see all the information about this particular preferred customer here that we had in Classic Unfranchise. And you can see there's a lot of information here. But again, it's all laid out the same way that we had before, so you still have the same functionality, same capabilities, just designed in a new, intuitive, and more functional way here. What about the Nutri-Physical? Well, if I go to My Customers and I click on Nutri-Physical, again, I can see all of the test results for all the people in my organization, or all the customers in my business who have filled out their Nutri-Physical, and I can see the information related to them. So I click on their name, I can pull them up as a preferred customer, or I can click on their results and see the details of what we're recommending for them. So I can look at the individual supplements that we recommended. Now again, one of the things that we're updating consistently throughout the site is how information is being displayed. Before, we would display the most highly recommended supplements with a red, almost like a stop sign or a stoplight. Red didn't necessarily seem to indicate that that was something that a customer should do. So we've changed the imagery and we've changed the icons to show that when we say something strongly recommended, it is a green for go. You should we strongly recommend that you should take that. And then we have other items that are recommended, and then we have some that are encouraged. So we kind of inverted the color scheme to make it much more appealing to customers, to indicate that these were products that they probably want to take, that these products could be beneficial for them based on the information that was in their Nutri-Physical. Again, these are the kinds of changes that we'd like to make here in the Unfranchised Business Account in Phase 1. Now, with that said, I also want to bring up this idea of phases. So the first rollout of the Unfranchised Business Account is going to be taking what we have in Classic, adding some additional functionality like dashboards and check all and some of these icon changes and things like that. But you need to buckle your seatbelts for Phase 2, because Phase 2 is going to be a complete re-envisioning of every aspect of Unfranchise.com. So we're going to go into every single area of Unfranchise one by one and redo them and redevelop them so that they're even more intuitive, and that everywhere we can increase functionality and decrease complexity and decrease confusion, we're going to do that in every area. There's some parts of Unfranchise that haven't been looked at for nearly 5 or 10 years even, because they worked fine, but our business model has evolved over time, and maybe those areas really need to be looked at. Maybe those areas didn't have the right amount of time or proper thought and care that could be put into them, because when they were first rolled out, it was just something that needed to get done really quickly and needed to get out there, and nobody went back later to see if that still made sense, or maybe there was a better way to do it, or something that might be more intuitive. And that's what our goal is going to be with Phase 2, is to go into all of these different areas and re-envision all of these different parts to make them more effective, more functional, and just make them a better tool for us as Unfranchise owners. So there were a couple of other areas that I'd like to be able to show you, like the management reports or the NMTSS changes, but unfortunately those are not ready yet. So, and especially ordering, I think you're going to be really impressed with ordering. And there's new widgets that aren't even in the dashboard yet that we'll be coming out with that you'll have. But what we wanted to do is we just wanted to be able to give you a quick overview of some of the exciting additions and changes to the new Unfranchised Business Account, to get you a feel and give you just a quick update on what's going on with the Unfranchised Business Account project, the new Unfranchised Business Account project, and get you as excited about it as we are, because we really think this is going to be incredible, and we know that you're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to providing it to you as a tool, and we're really excited to be able to show you what we can. So just stay tuned. We'll have more updates to come soon, and if you missed something the first time through this video, that's going to be replaying over and over again, so please stay tuned and the video will restart and you can watch it from the beginning again. Thanks very much for your time and have a great convention.